What's your favorite question to ask someone to get to know them better? You like jazz? Let me know if we may like similar jokes. What is your favorite Wikipedia page? How many bloodlusted ducks does it take to kill a full adult rhino? Would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? My go-to critical thinking questions. Top 5 favorite movies, artists, albums, books, etc. You can learn a lot about someone based on the art they like. Sock, sock, shoe, shoe or sock, shoe, sock, shoe. Have to weed out the sociopaths somehow. What's your favorite dinosaur? If you could go back in time, what advice would you give to your younger self? I often relate that the biggest problem with my younger self is I wouldn't listen to my older self. Are you happy? What's your ideal type of woman? May seem random but it's important to me. What's your cure for the hiccups? What kind of milk they like, purely because what kind of milk you drink says PT about you. As a former college instructor, I would have an icebreaker, Q groans, on day 1. With 2 questions we could start a lively conversation. What's the furthest you've traveled from this spot? Have you ever met anyone famous? Worked every time. Who do you think really is the latte hot day? Did you know that sea salt is ocean cocaine? Some just say WTF and leave me. So what medication are you on? Ya like jazz? Is it GIF or GIF? What are you reading? I don't want to know you if you don't read. Source? What's your stance on the Israel versus Palestine issue? What's your perfect Saturday look like? If you traveled back in time 300 years, which skill/idea/invention would you be able to explain well enough to the people so they could replicate it? So, girl in red? You ever see a ghost? I have 3 go-tos for someone I wanna get to know. 1. Which Sesame Street character are you most like? 2. What is your favorite memory and why? 3. What is one thing you should thank your parents for? What do you do for fun? Do you smoke weed? If you were 1 inch inside your mother, and your dad was 1 inch inside you, which way are you moving to get out? When you hear the first couple of bars of Under Pressure by Queen, and then realize it's actually Ice Ice Baby, do you get excited or disappointed? Why is your face like that? What 3 books do you relate to the most that I could read to know you better? How's life going? Biggie or Tupac? Who wins a fight, Goku versus Superman? This question pretty much tells me everything I need to know about a person. What's your favorite roller coaster? What's your story? And then let them choose where to start. Are you a Republican? Is cereal a soup? What are your top 3 favorite birds? A classic. What music do you listen to? It's my personal gauge of personality, and I can usually spin people into listening to what is good according to my tastes. Win/win emo. How was your weekend? Question, what kind of bear is best? What's something you've never said out loud before? Facetious or serious? Have you ever masturbate on your mom's high school photos? Tell a story of how you were wronged and were able to turn it around right, and see if they have any similar likewise stories. Anyone can be Mr. Right when they're in fact in the right and entitled after so, but Mr. President puts each party's interest together and the prime intent is to keep moving. Be with Mr. Presidents. I love asking the question, how was your day? To get the conversation rolling. It doesn't teach me about people, it just helps starting conversations. I do overuse it as a joke though. What kind of music do you like? What's the last new thing you learned? What did you dream about last night? If you were to kill a man, what song would you have playing in the background? It's such a fun question because they get to know me because of the strange question, and I get to know a lot because the response always generates a conversation. Haha, what a funny story. So how's your sex life? Reading this thread gave me so many ideas for avenues of conversation, only to realize I don't talk to anyone lol. What's your Reddit username? What was their favorite subject in school growing up? I think it can say a lot about a person and can pivot to a lot of different directions. Magnus Carlsen or Hikaru? Do you still beat your wife? What's your life story? Do you swallow? A/S/L. I had an employee who was an oddball of the first order, just coasting along enjoying what I can only describe as a superlatively charmed existence. For instance, he was in his mid-20s, living in NYC, and had somehow avoided ever paying a nickel in rent. Like not once in his life. I personally witnessed him not only refuse to pay his landlord for 6 months, but also walk away with $3,000 compensation when the matter went to court. From there he ended up in a free pad provided by a real estate broker who hired him on the spot while he was looking for an apartment. Seriously. I've never seen anyone so consistently fall ass first into a basket of rose petals as this dude. But that's about the time I lost contact with him because he went full-time into real estate brokerage. Which was just as well because he wasn't really a very good employee. He wasn't dangerously incompetent or anything, just kind of slow and lacking any sense of hustle. I kept him on just because he was so entertaining and had this ability to keep everyone else's morale up. We called him the jam burner because he would fixate on certain bands, and play these really badass tunes, but play them so frequently that everyone would be completely burned out by the time his focus shifted. Anyway, he would go around asking these asinine questions of everyone, as though he was conducting a Heather's poll. What's your favorite animal? What's your second favorite animal? What's your favorite body of water? How would you describe it? Would you rather have a yacht or a sport car? Would you rather have an asshole on your elbow, or an elbow on your asshole? He had graduated college with a psychology degree, so I was aware that he was just probing us all, but I like to think I actually learned a lot about myself from his inquiries. I often think about him warmly. I hope you're doing well, Will, you mystifying, jam-burning leech. What profession would you have pursued if not the one you're doing now? Or, what do you want to be when you grow up? I jokingly ask people what's your opinion of Tibetan independence? It came from a Stargate, SG-1 episode where a character, O'Neill, was getting annoyed with some reporters and before they asked him some questions, he gave some answers to questions they didn't ask and one of them being I believe in Tibetan independence. Most people have no idea what I'm talking about but some people do and give an answer. Got any good ghost stories? What is your favorite kind of cheese? Everyone seems to have a favorite. One that got taught to me years ago was where have your current shoes been? It can be hard to talk about yourself in the spot, but this gives you a chance to think/talk about things you've been from the perspective of something else. Who is your favorite member of the Fellowship of the Ring? What do you hate? What drives you crazy? What are your pet peeves? If you woke up with $1 billion, what is the first thing you would do? If you could be anything, what would it be? What's your favorite YouTuber? What's your Insta? What is my sign? So, you like jazz? If you were home alone and heard a fart, would you laugh or be scared? What's your favorite conspiracy theory? It doesn't have to be something you believe in. I actively ask not to know what they believe, but what is the most entertaining to them. The type of people I tend to gravitate to know some really fun ones, while people I stay away from either A, are super simple moon landing fake Area 51 types or B, believe some Alex Jones level crazy shit. What's your toxic trait? Nice weather, innit? I always ask a twofer. What do you do? They respond with their job. No. I mean, what do you do for fun? Then I see them light up and get excited about their hobby. I learn what they do and what they enjoy. What are 5 ways to use a pencil that doesn't include writing with it? Is juggling a sport or an art? I know I'm very late, but with so many people using Spotify these days, I normally ask if they have a playlist that's representative of them. I've gotten a lot of great new music, and made a lot of friends this way. To know someone better, I would ask them their favorite TV shows. How did you get your name? What's the largest wild animal you could take 1v1? If you had to murder someone, anyone, who would you choose, why, how would you do it, and how would you cover it up? Tells a lot about someone's personality, mental state, and intelligence. And possibly their ideology if they pick a public figure instead of someone close to them.